hoping to make this a really fast video so that you guys can understand a little bit more about what I'm doing to create these cinematic trailers. So the first thing you really want to do and want to focus on is introduce the story as fast as possible.
Daniel would always be the single one in our group.
What I've noticed from watching movie trailers, TV show trailers, and things like that is as soon as it starts, they're almost throwing you right into the story. As a viewer, you're forced to start listening right away, figure out what part of the story you're in, what's happening, and where it's gonna take you. You can introduce the story with sound bites, you can introduce the story with audio from the toast, the ceremony. It doesn't really matter how you do it, but you wanna bring in the story, you wanna bring a part of the story into the film almost as soon as it starts.
My son, he's a lot like me.
In most of my trailers, within the first 3 to 5 seconds, I've already got dialogue that's starting, whether it's a soundbite or it's actually a relative part to the story, but immediately you're listening and you're focused and it hooks you almost right when it begins. The second thing is sound design. Now this is definitely something that I want to do a whole separate video on, but to make it really short and condensed for this video, sound design is not just hits, whooshes, and crazy sounds. It's more things like ambient audio. If you see a group of guys laughing, let's hear laughter. Let's not just see it. If you see something happen where it looks like people are clapping and cheering, let's hear clapping and cheering.
My son, he's a lot like me. We're quiet. We're introverts. For those of you that know Lauren,
got to see it through, my boy.
she's not.
Sound design is not just focused on the hits and the things like that, which I use those a lot. I love to emphasize certain parts of the story with a hit or a boom. Ambient sounds, audio from what's actually taking place, what you're watching, is just as important.
I mean, it comes with it.
You're gonna shotgun a tall boy?
Most of the time in my films, I'm using sound design from different clips to make it make sense in the actual clip that I'm filming. For example, if I've got good audio from the ceremony site, from people clapping after the ceremony, I might use that audio instead of the grand entrance audio because that audio might be muffled or distorted with a lot of background audio and background music and stuff like that. You really want to start downloading your sounds and organizing them. This is something I didn't start doing until about a year ago, and trust me, it's the worst thing ever because I have one folder that has a whole bunch of random stuff in it, and then the other folders are starting to get organized based on hits, ambient sounds, undertones, things like that. So definitely get yourself some sort of a system, categorize your folders. And a place that I like to get good sound design from is Artlist. In my opinion, their sound design, it just sounds so much better, so much more organic. Sounds just like the stuff you hear in actual movies, and I definitely love that. And third and the last thing I want to talk about is music. This is the make or break to your cinematic trailer. If you just pick a song because you like it, you think this song sounds great, but it doesn't fit the story you're trying to tell, it's pointless. You're not making a film about music, you're making a film about a couple. So you want whatever song, whatever soundtrack you're using to complement that. You don't want it to take away from the story that you're trying to tell.
Although I love single Daniel, I wanted a girl to see what I see in him.
I find music that's fitting for the couple, but it's also fitting for the story we're trying to tell. Another thing that I'm a big fan of when it comes to music is remixing it to make it work for the story. And this isn't necessarily adding instruments and different things like that. This is just cutting the music in ways where it's either looping or you're adding reverb.
I will keep on moving higher.
I love to actually take parts of the song. If there's a certain harmony or maybe a certain singing part that I just really, really like, I love looping that and making it feel and flow just like it was a part of the original song. And that is it for this video. I know it's a super short, quick one, but I really wanted to make it because I get questions all the time about just the initial thought process and how to get started. So as long as you introduce the story right away, bring in some sound design, and find good music that actually complements the story. Don't go for a song that just sounds great because you like it. If it doesn't fit the story you're trying to tell, it's not the right song for that film. As always, if you have any questions about anything that we just discussed, leave them in the comments below. Shoot me a message on Instagram. And until the next video, y'all keep creating, and I'll see you in the next one.
I never thought that you'd end up being the one to be chasing diamonds and wanna sail on. Not chasing pennies, you know that ain't no fun. Could never lock you up, you know you was on the run. Every time I got you.